So the majority of the work that I do is being present with the way that I feel and allowing those things to kind of run their course. But sometimes things get a little stuck. And so I decided to try cord cutting, and I wanted to share my experience and my thoughts on it and kind of what I think is happening. And the cord cutting is basically based on the idea that when we have a connection through a traumatic experience, whether it's a relationship, something that happened in our past, we being energy, and the thing that we're interacting with, whether it's a thing, a person, or a place, is energetic as well. And we are now connected or tethered to that experience. And so whatever happened in that experience is still kind of connecting to us through this tether. And that could be what we feel when we're feeling negative sensations, like in your gut. And sitting with it can take some time. So I decided to work on this with a few different things that, kind of come up on a regular basis for me, some past events and past relationships. And as I sat with those experiences, I could still feel there's a little rumbly in the tumbly, if you will, a little activation of negative sensations that are still a little stagnant. So the way I did this, and watching a few different videos and talking to some people who I know who do some of this work, and basically you would sit in a quiet place, of course in your own physical, environment, but in your mind you want to get to a nice, comfortable place. For me, it's imagining I'm in this garden with nice lights around, and a bench and kind of bright light around, and so. Taking a few deep breaths, I would then imagine, in this example, I'll use a past relationship where you're sitting with that person in front of you. And I think the power of this is really just taking a moment with intention to acknowledge that you're feeling this and that it is connected to this person, place, or thing. And in this case, saying to the person all the things that you need to say. Maybe there's some things that you need to get off your chest, and you're saying that. But for me, the power is also acknowledging the things that you've learned from that experience, meaning you're kind of taking inventory of all the benefits and things that you're learning from that experience, but you're also owning your side of the street. You're owning your own reactions. You're owning the things that you've held on to. And you're looking at this person, you're looking them in the eye, and basically confessing all of this stuff, asking for forgiveness if you need to, forgiving yourself for anything that you might have done, and acknowledging the value that this thing has had in your life. So to me, that part is probably the most beautiful part of this experience. And maybe there is no cord. Maybe it's just an exercise of going through and acknowledging that this thing has served you in some way. And now you're willing to let that go. And by doing so, you imagine seeing this tether, usually coming from your navel, to this person or thing. And after you're done acknowledging, you may want to allow that person to say whatever they need to say. And then you would imagine, and I ask for help with assistance from whatever I'm connected to. Imagine I have this knife, and simply hold the cord and put it right next to where it enters me. And I say with an intention that I acknowledge this cord's here, and it's just a negative aspect. There's nothing that you're going to let go of that would be positive. And you can do this with a relationship that's still working, or something that's really good, but it's just letting go of these negative aspects. And it could even be somebody who's passed on too. And you're simply just taking this knife with the intention that you're going to let this go. You're surrendering this negative connection, and you ask again for help, and you slowly go through it. And then once it's done, you set it down and you hand the knife to the other person and let them do what they want with it. Chances are they have their own work to do, and by you releasing your side of it, you are done with that. And it may be something you have to do over and over again. There may be other tethers and other aspects that are connected, and it may take some time to work through this, but you can't fix what they're experiencing, whatever trauma that they have. And if it's connected to you, that's their work, and you're just giving them the knife to say, here you go. I release you with love and kindness, and I wish you well on your journey. Again, I think the value in this process is simply the intention to acknowledge your side of the street, to ask and give forgiveness wherever it may need to be done, and then the intention of letting go. It's an exercise of surrender, and then you're sending that person off with love. I think it's a really powerful exercise. I hope this helps you in your journey of transforming your lives.